Pound for pound, the Porsche Cayman GTS might just be the best sports car that money can buy. In fact, we couldn't think of a rival that would get anywhere near for the money. So we've delved into Porsche's back catalogue and unearthed the 996 GT3, this one a Gen 2 spec. This is one track battle that I am really looking forward to. So let's start in the Cayman GTS. This is a typical Porsche job. Just squeezing the margins. It's got an extra 14 horsepower over a Cayman S, an extra 7 pound-foot. Nothing really. But as Porsche always do, these tiny differences add up to more than the sum of their parts. And this GTS feels really, really special. One really interesting option is the chassis. This has got the sport chassis, so we've got fixed rate dampers instead of the PASM, 20mm lower, and it feels much more extreme on the road. It's really stiff, sort of GT3 stiff, and on the track immediately it feels agile, it feels up for this sort of driving. Of course, it is a Cayman S and a little bit, so the same things hold true. It's gorgeous flat six engine. Just loves to rev. The way it changes direction, the control of its masses, it really is on another level to supposed rivals, this car. It's so sweet. The gearbox, fantastic. And this car's got the optional carbon ceramics as well, which just work brilliantly on track. I know they've had a bad press over the years, but when you're just doing a few laps and you're not worried about replacement costs and all that stuff, they feel superb. And you can just play with the balance of this car. That's what's so nice about it. It's super agile, super accurate. If you want to be a hooligan, it will do that too. It just sort of melds itself to your needs and what you want to do. It's so much fun. I think it will be pretty quick as well. So we know the Cayman GTS is a high quality thing, but can our slightly hotted up Cayman S really beat an old GT3 around the track? Well, let's find out. Immediately, the turning, change of direction, and the stability on the brakes is superb. Traction strong. And I just love this 6-speed box. PDK is probably quicker, but who cares? It's just so nice to use. Quick down here, 130, well over. Ceramic's got slightly longer pedal than you'd think, actually. But they work well. Still got that turning oversteer that this new generation of Cayman and Boxster tend to have. It's nice through there. It's a horrible corner you normally understeer through. A bit of oversteer is good. Through the quick stuff, it's really good. Still tends to oversteer, which makes it pretty exciting. But the precision of where you can put the front of the car just means you can string the lap together the way you want to. It's wicked fun, this thing. Okay, that's a lap.
The GTS with its aggressive sport chassis feels fantastically agile, and it turns in a 105.2 lap time and hits 133.72 miles an hour along that long straight. It's fast, but it's also hilariously good fun. The GT3 has its work cut out.
So now we're stepping back in time to a 996 GT3. This is the Gen 2 car. It's a 2003. It's 11 years old, this thing. And it only feels like yesterday that I was driving these things when they were brand new. And I absolutely loved them. And I really, really wanted one. Well, this is an Evo Reader's car. Jack Wood very kindly lent this to us. And it's pretty standard, but like most 10-year-old GT3s, it's just been optimised for track. So it's got standard springs and dampers actually, but the suspension's been rose jointed. We've got aggressive padded pads, again standard discs. So it's a bit sharper than it would have been when it was new, and the brakes have probably got a lot more durability. But in effect, this is just a fit GT3, and I love it. The engine, so it's 375 horsepower, 284 pounds-foot, so similar torque to the Cayman, quite a lot more power, but it's about 35 kilos heavier. And the way that body control and grip has come on in the last 10 years, I think the Cayman's probably the favourite. Having said that, this car is just a riot. The steering is so precise, but it's got so much more feel than the Cayman's. And that Cayman's variable ratio rack just doesn't feel as intuitive as this car's. And of course we've got 911 traction and just a more mechanical feel. It's actually going to be pretty tight, this. Okay, so it's time to do the honour of the Metzger engine and of the Porsche Motorsport department in this gorgeous GT3. It feels faster than the Cayman, turns in just as well. I'm going to avoid the curb as it's an owner's car. Revs to 8,000, this 3.6 litre flat six. Just sounds so raw. There's nothing synthesised at all about what this car does. It's a real driver's car. The brakes are fantastic. Bits of oversteer, but in a 911, a bit of oversteer always works well because it keeps the rear driving with that rear engine configuration. So you're always climbing through the revs. Feels fantastic. You wouldn't know there was a weight difference compared to the Cayman. Superb brakes. These padded pads really do the business. And this car's really on the nose. It's been set up beautifully. Maybe a little too much oversteer through some of the corners, but that's a lap for the GT3. Oh, I want one of these cars.
I said it would be close, right? Well, it is. The GT3 pulls 136.3 miles an hour along the straight, but the Cayman is a shade quicker through the high-speed corners. In the end, it laps in 105.2. Yep, it's a dead heat. Let the conspiracies begin. For more track battles and other Evo videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.